from the Diaspora.
Yes, all right, so let's get started.
Okay.
So Sunshine, the first thing that I'm going to be doing is what we call in Barbados macaroni pie. A lot of other countries know it as macaroni and cheese, but Bajans take it really, really serious.
Okay.
They call it macaroni pie.
Okay.
Yeah? And the next thing we're going to be doing, as you can see, I've got some saltfish here.
Okay.
Other stuff here as well. And this is going to be what other countries know as saltfish fritters, but in Barbados they call them fish cakes.
Fish cake.
Bajan fish cake.
Bajan fish cake.
Exactly, all right?
I'm so excited.
So, all right, let's get started. So what I'm going to do first,
Okay.
I need to get this macaroni on the boil. First thing I'm going to do, straight into the pot.
Okay. You're cooking this, is this normal pasta?
Yeah, this is actually macaroni pasta shells, very normal. You can buy them in any store. Nothing special about them at all, really.
Why have you picked macaroni pie as your dish for food from the diaspora? Where are you from?
I'm from Barbados, baby.
Oh my God, okay.
I'm 3/4 Barbados and 1/4 Dominican.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought, do you know what? There's a lot of things that I could have cooked, but some of them I think maybe people more recognize from being from other places. So when I thought about things that I recognize as really being Bajan, it's like macaroni pie, how they cook it, and the Bajan fish cakes. This is actually quite hard. Yeah. Usually when you do fish fritters, they're flat. Barbados made it really difficult. You got to make them round.
Oh lordy. Okay.
It's going to be very difficult, but we're going to try and get as close to round as possible, yeah?
I love that you're teaching me this. I've never done any kind of Bajan dish in my life.
Well, listen, it's quite a simple one. When you see how simple it is, I think you'd be like, oh, I can do that.
I'm going to do it for
Yeah,
my
I could
kids
do
at
that.
home.
Yeah,
This is
definitely.
so exciting.
Salt and pepper's in there. It's boiling down a bit. We're going to put some butter in there in a minute.
Okay.
Let's get down to some stuff that we need for the fish cakes, all right?
Okay.
This is where I'm going to need some help,
That's
please.
what I'm here for.
Okay.
I've washed my hands. Okay, what can we do?
So have I think. Yes, they are washed. They are washed. They are. Okay, chopping.
Okay.
That's what we're doing right now, yeah? Chopping. Wow, this is a really fragrant
May I
pepper.
smell?
Smell it.
Oh,
Lovely.
it smells like summertime.
In fact, you know what? We're going to use the whole of this. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
We're going to use all of it. Obviously, we don't want these seeds.
Okay, why
But we'll
not?
deal with those because seeds can sometimes make it a bit bitter.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't want to put the seeds in there.
Okay.
So all I need for you to do now is if you could please just chop these up. Quite fine, but not overly fine because I'm going to fry them over there in a second.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. So what I love is that you're the one who's doing the cooking today, because like in Philippines, where my mum's from, traditionally my mother would be in the kitchen. I find it really refreshing that it's you. I mean, in Barbados, do you find that men are a lot in the kitchen?
Do you know what? I think it's a bit of both, you know. Like in my household, my dad and my mum both cooked, but my dad showed me that when he met my mum, she couldn't really cook that well. Sorry, mum. And so he told me that actually he taught my mum a lot of what she knows in terms of her cooking.
Wow.
And my mum and dad, they equally get in the kitchen, and sometimes they actually get in the kitchen together.
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah,
beautiful,
yeah,
making
sometimes.
harmony in the kitchen.
But dad doesn't like it too much though. But dad likes the kitchen all to himself, like he gets all intricate and he gets all focused on it. I'm also going to get this saltfish on the pan. because
that saltfish,
Yes,
was
go
it
ahead.
once dried?
yeah, so it's dried and it's salted. But the
Okay.
thing is, it's salted like to a massive extent. So what we need to do is boil off the salt. And as you can see, I've had it in this water here before. The reason I had it in the water was also to help with the kind of desalting process.
Okay.
So it's been in this water just sitting in here.
It's amazing how you're able to multitask like that. So you've got two dishes going on at the same time. I'm very like, I need to focus on one thing at a time, but you're really...
Do you know what it is? It's like, I'm very, time is of the essence, Sunshine. Like, so sometimes when I'm at home, it's like I'm cooking sometimes 3 or 4 dishes at the same time.
Is that a traditional thing in Barbados? Do you often have lots of side dishes and things going on, not just one kind of lasagna dish as you might in Italy?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, quite often. Yeah, like so. And I think also what it is because I think sometimes some dishes have different things that need to be cooked individually that then become combined as well.
Okay.
So I think that's a part of it as well. But like Sunday, for instance, I'm cooking a roast chicken. You might catch me, well, if I'm doing it traditionally, I'll be doing a mac and cheese, a roast chicken, roast potatoes, rice and peas. I might cook homemade coleslaw as well, and I'm doing that all at the same time.
Wow.
The kitchen looks like an explosion. So what we're going to actually be doing, once you've got that chopped up, we're going to get this seasoning right here,
Okay.
which is all-purpose seasoning,
Okay.
and we're going to cook that down a little bit with the all-purpose seasoning before we mix it with the saltfish, and then actually also mix it to flour here,
Okay.
baking powder here, and water there. Okay.
Okay.
But I need another onion
Okay.
because for the mac and cheese, one of the not secret, but one of the essential ingredients is that we grate onion into the mac and cheese. It gives a different kind of taste. It gives a little bit of a Yeah, it's quite important actually. It makes a massive difference.
Okay.
So tell me about your culture. Tell me about cooking with your family, and tell me about where you're from and what kind of things you do cook.
Okay. Well, my mum's from Philippines. She did most of the cooking.
Wow.
So we have things like adobo.
Yeah.
It's very meaty. So when I went vegetarian when I was younger, it was a bit of a shock.
Ah.
But also in Philippines, we live by the sea, so it's lots of seafood, lots of fresh fish.
What kind of fish do you guys like in the Philippines?
Ooh, my favorite is called milkfish. I don't know what the name is, but it tastes so
amazing.
good. And also the tuna, it tastes so meaty. It doesn't taste like fish at all. It's really yummy.
I need to research milkfish. I've never heard of that.
It's so good. And then my dad's from Guyana. My dad is from Guyana.
Yeah.
So Guyana, we have something. One of my favorite things is pepper pot.
Yeah.
It's so good, but you need something called.
I know about pepper pot. I've heard.
You know car shrimp?
No. What is that?
So I don't know. It's this magic black sauce that you need to make pepper pot, which is quite hard to come by.
Oh, is that what gives it that little spicy kind of tasty kind of?
That's what it is. That's what it is. But I haven't quite learned how to do it. So I have a magic cousin, Dawn, who's been trying to teach me the delicacies of Guyanese cooking.
She's
Bless her
magic.
cotton She's magic. She's magic. She's like, honey, you need to learn how to cook Guyanese food. So yeah, but hopefully I'll be able to clock that one. So when we do our next session, I'll be able to share that with you. So in Guyana is actually mixed with like lots of different cultures. We've got like Afro Guyanese, we've got Indo-Guyanese, we've got indigenous Guyanese, we've got Chinese Guyanese as well. What's the history in Barbados? Like what kind of cultural mixes? Because we're not all just one.
That's a good point, yeah. Well, my family actually is quite mixed. So my dad's mum was half Indian, half black.
That's funky.
Actually, I think her actual Indian is actually originally from Guyana.
Wow.
Yeah. So technically, we've got like a little bit of a link
We could
here.
be related, blood.
Yeah. I think we are related. Look how we're getting on right now. Look at this synergy that we've got going on. Synergy.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
like that word.
It's true. I smell it. Okay.
Yeah. And so that side, and then do you know I found out quite recently that my dad's dad was also mixed. I didn't realize. I always assumed that he was just brown, but I found out recently that my dad's dad actually, my granddad, one of his parents was white Jewish.
Wow.
And the other one was an East African Muslim.
Wow.
And apparently they ran away to be together and changed their surname.
That's funky.
Crazy. But then my mum's side, my mum's dad was half white. But he's what, I shouldn't use this word, but he's what they call in Barbados an Becky, because it's a person whose complexion you can't really tell what they are.
Wow.
So when I grew up, until the day that my granddad died, I assumed that he was white. I didn't realize that my granddad was mixed race because he just looked like a white man. I think the thing that stands out for me is that when I'm in Barbados and I go to a shop and I go to order something, I just come to realize just how English I sound.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that's the thing that kind of separates me apart more than anything else. It's like I'll be like, can I have the chicken with the rice, please? Everyone's kind of turns around. Chicken and rice. You want the chicken? Yeah, I want the chicken, please, and the rice. And then it kind of stands out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's funny because when you're here, everyone's like, "Where are you from?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, I'm from like Tooting." But then when you go to Guyana or I go to Philippines, everyone's like, "Where are you from?" So it sometimes feels like I don't really know where I belong because I definitely am not.
This is what happens.
It's a drama. Too much talking in the kitchen.
No. This always happens when you boil this saltfish.
Okay.
Because of all the salt, it comes up as froth. So so what we have to do is we just have to kind of like replace the water once or twice.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing right now.
I love learning this from you right now.
I'm just going to rinse off this water and add
So that's normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very normal.
Okay.
Like, if it doesn't boil up like that, then something's wrong. So I've got the pan on. Put some oil into here because what we're going to be doing now is we are going to be adding this into here and cooking it down a little bit before we mix that with the saltfish once it's cooked down and it's not salty.
Okay, so what's happening? Evaporated milk.
Yeah, evaporated milk.
What is evaporated milk?
Evaporated milk is like a what's the word for what evaporated milk? I think it's a milk that's been like kind of had some sort of heat process added to it.
Okay.
Makes it a bit more sour. On its own, tastes horrible, but in certain dishes and certain cooking, it can taste it.
So you can't use normal milk?
Well, you can, but the way that I've been taught is evaporated milk.
Okay.
So if I haven't got evaporated milk, I might just use normal milk.
Okay.
I'm gonna add some butter as well.
Okay. And this is to pasta with the water in it.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
I love learning new things. This is good.
You're gonna see what happens in a little bit once it starts cooking down and it starts coming all together.
So you definitely can't use saltfish in its form that the
No.
way you would buy it from the
Yeah.
shop. You always need to boil it down.
Well, do you know what? Actually, what people tend to do is maybe a night before they plan to cook it.
Yeah.
What they tend to do is they will put it in something like maybe in a pan and have some water in there and let it actually sit in there, and then it can actually remove the salt as well. And sometimes if you have it overnight, by the time the morning comes, enough salt has come off of it that you can actually just cook it straight away.
There's that preparation. I've always heard like Caribbean people, they love seasoning. Everything's very well thought about. Like 2 days before we're going to season.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the actual national dish of Barbados?
A lot of people say it's cuckoo and saltfish.
What's cuckoo?
Cuckoo is it looks like mashed potato, but it's often made from cornmeal or wholemeal, and it's like a. Do you know what? It's actually quite similar to what you might see in Africa that they call fufu.
Wow.
Quite similar.
Do you think that's where the roots are?
Definitely.
Wow.
100%.
Okay.
Like sometimes when you actually analyze things in our different cultures, you can actually see the similarities and you can see the derivatives of where they probably come from.
Would you like me to help you?
Yeah, you can bring over yours.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good. Yes. Yes. It's getting real special in here. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much.
Wow. The flag. So what are you putting in there?
Oh, sorry. This is all-purpose seasoning.
Okay, just so I remember.
Yeah,
Okay.
putting it in there with here.
Okay. I can't wait to cook this at home. I'm gonna look like a G in the kitchen. Channel Aaron.
And the thing is, it is actually, as you can see, it's not that difficult, right? Exactly.
Well, you make it seem really easy because you do it with a smile on your face, and I think that's a really Caribbean thing now.
You gotta cook with a smile,
With
man.
joy.
Yes, you gotta cook with a smile, 100%.
Gratitude is the attitude.
That's right.
I did, when I went to uni, I could make, I think things like pasta with cheese.
Yeah.
And whenever I'd ask my mum to teach me how to make something, because she kind of says, well, it's really easy, you just need to put that and that and that and then it's done. She doesn't measure anything. So it's really hard for me to then take that, you know?
Yeah. This is Bajan hot pepper sauce.
Oh goodness, is this going to be
messed
spicy?
around, very spicy. Not to be messed around with, so I'm not going to put too much in here.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. I need to get grate in my onion.
All right, do you want me to do that?
Please.
Let me do that here.
Okay, I need to turn this off. I think that's good enough.
Okay.
Ooh, that looks excellent. Yeah, that's
Oh,
fine.
right, I like
that's
that.
enough. I think that actually might be enough. Yeah.
Okay.
That is wicked.
Oh, it smells
So the onions
good.
are going into the mac and cheese now.
There's happiness. I feel like we just need some music when we're doing this.
Yeah. You know, I usually cook with music.
I love music
Yeah, I
and
usually
cooking
cook
because
with
you can
music.
dance and oh. Okay.
All right. And do you know what we're going to do? We're going to start adding some cheese into the macaroni pie as well.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Yes.
The water was in that pasta, or did you drain it?
No, still there.
Wow.
Still there.
This
because
is a whole different way.
that's going to become part of this dish.
You know when you're doing a dish from another country, it's like you're traveling to another place.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because you're getting the aroma of...
Mamma mia. It smells, and all you've done is like peppers and onions, but it smells like
The hot pepper
we're
is...
not on lockdown.
I always tell people this like no, not lockdown.
I just feel like you're taking me away.
I always tell people, listen, cooking is so much easier than we try to make it out to be. Like once you know what you're doing, it's such an easy process. Isn't
Aaron, I'm buying you a cookbook.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, now what I'm doing is this is a cheeky one. Yeah, some people know this. Mac and cheese, it needs to have a little slight undertaste of a tang.
Okay.
We get that from tomato sauce.
That is controversial.
It's
dude.
very controversial.
That's like a completely different colour going on.
Yeah.
So does that mean this is going to be a pink Mac?
It creates a little bit of a tinge.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. And this is actually mustard.
Wow.
Yeah, a little bit of that as well. These are little... Bajans will know what I'm doing. Bajans will know what I'm doing. They don't tend to tell people what they do.
No.
Well, how you get that taste? I can't tell you that, man. I can't tell you that.
Exposed. We're going to be getting letters.
I'm going to get in trouble. I'm giving away the secrets,
This is top secret stuff, guys.
that's what we're here for.
I know.
As you can see what's happening now? Look at that.
Oh, little darling.
Stir it up.
Come
Hey,
on.
let me get a little I get them a little, you know what I mean?
It's
a little one.
Love in this kitchen.
Not too much though, because I can't give them too much. Can't give them too much. All right.
Okay.
That is looking great.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe people can actually tell me if this is correct. But I found out that the reason that we sound like how we do is because a lot of people that were settled in Barbados were Cornish.
No.
So if you listen,
Mate, that's crazy.
If you listen to the accent of Barbados and listen to Cornish people,
oh my gosh.
it sounds
Dude.
very, very, very similar.
That's crazy. Okay, so Cornish and Bajan.
Yes.
Or, it's like, or.
And then exactly, and then we're like, I going down there.
No.
Same sort of.
Oh,
and
Lord of mercy.
apparently in Trinidad, a lot of people that were based there were from Wales.
No.
So if you listen to Wales, Trinidad, same sort of intonation.
Oh my gosh, we are all connected, honey. The world is a beautiful place.
Okay, we're moving quite well. So I need you to do something for me now.
Okay, that's what I'm here for.
What you need to do is, you've got to get this saltfish.
Okay.
Kind of.
Mash it up.
Yes. Yes. Basically, yeah. You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, I'm going to use this, and then I need to get my my flour in here, and then I'm going to add some baking powder to this as well, and some water. And that is what we're going to do to mix with the saltfish and the vegetation
that what you call it?
that we've cooked down.
Vegetation.
The vegetation.
Okay.
Now what I'm doing is putting this into here.
Wow. Oh, mamma mia. So do I need to bake this up any smaller?
You're doing really, really well.
Okay.
Just keep going because the more you do it means that maybe the more of the actual fish cakes we can have.
I do want more, actually.
Yeah.
I do want more.
All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually top this with more cheese. Yeah, I'm going to top it up with more cheese. Oh, look at that. That's lovely. I love this cooking stuff. Just top it up with some cheese.
Oh, goodness me. This is looking so delicious right now. Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get this in the oven.
Okay.
Bung it in.
Oh, it smells so good. Right. So how long is that going to go in the oven for?
Do you know what? It's dependent. It might go in for about maybe 10, 15, 20.
So quickly.
Depending on how strong and good the oven is. Okay, we've got to get going with this,
Yes, we do.
with these fritters.
Okay.
Okay, so what we need to do now. Thank you so much, my love. I'm going to put this into here.
Okay.
Okay.
This colourful mixture here.
Yes. Veggies. This is really what makes it all taste so nice. It's interesting, isn't it? Because people talk badly about vegetables, but actually they're amazing. All right, so I've got my flour and my baking powder in there. I'm going to add some water to it. I don't actually know how much to add to it, but I think that should be enough.
You're an estimator.
Yeah, I'm an estimator. I don't actually know.
Okay.
Direct and specific measurements.
Okay. Well, I see the baking powder reacting there. Okay.
Let's give it a little stir.
Why do you need the baking powder?
You don't use that. You don't need that for fritters, but for fish cakes you do because it needs to have a little bit of a pump up. Like the baking powder gives it a little bit of a.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness me.
But when you do fritters, you just use flour.
Okay.
Mix those two together. Might need a bit more
Oh
water.
my goodness.
And then if you don't mind, start pouring your saltfish into here as well.
Gradually or all in one?
Get it in there.
Get it in there.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
okay.
you.
There we go.
Absolutely excellent. Thank
Oh
you.
my goodness, the smells in this room. If only I could send that through the camera right now.
Mate, listen. This is why I love food.
People make this at home. Make this
Yes.
at home.
And it's very simple, as you can see. It's not very difficult at all. Once you just know what you're mixing together and the rest of it. Gee, look at that little technique there. Look.
You've got technique as well. I've just got this aromatic explosion going on right now, so I can't concentrate.
It's all good. This is what it's about. It's about us sharing and caring and putting a little bit more of this in.
How important do you think it is to pass on these recipes?
Oh, 100. Oh, it's massively important. I feel like as generations go on, unfortunately, because, we're further and further away from where these things come from, some people are losing these amazing traditions and traditional dishes. So it's very important that we pass this on, to me personally anyway. All right, I hope it does what it's supposed to do.
So what have you got here now?
Now I've got oil on the fire.
Is that all oil?
Yes, vegetable oil. I know it's a lot. It looks very unhealthy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But it won't be, because I'm going to put them in there to get a little frying going.
Okay.
And then take them out once they're a little golden brown.
This is something that if you are going to make this at home,
Yeah.
you've got to have adult supervision going on.
Yes, 100%.
This bit is the adult supervision bit.
Now it's supposed to be round, yeah?
Okay.
So I'm trying to get them round, but it's not the easiest. Because actually I heard that using, it's not even that hot yet,
Wow.
that using an ice cream scoop
Yeah.
makes it a lot easier.
Uh-huh.
But we'll be all right. Because I've got 2 teaspoons here, as you can see,
Yeah.
and I'm rounding them off.
You're looking like a Japanese ninja.
I'm rounding them off before I get them in there. Yeah? We'll be all right.
Okay.
And this is the last stage, man. So once I get this done...
Oh, you've made me so hungry. I can't wait to eat your food. And that's the joy, I guess, of passing down recipes from, like, you know, from the elders.
Yes.
You bring a taste of them. You've actually got hundreds of years of magic that's kind of coming up in the kitchen.
That's a beautiful way to think about it, actually. I didn't think of it like that, but that's a beautiful way to think about it. So what would you cook? Like, if I said to you, okay, look, I want you to cook me one dish from your Guyanese side and one dish from your Filipino side.
Okay.
What would be your go-to and why?
Oh my goodness me. Okay, so from the Guyanese side, to impress you, I might make chana.
Ooh, okay.
So that's chickpeas.
Yep.
And it actually comes from like the Indian Guyanese
Yep, I know. Yep.
influence. So I'd make chana, and then maybe from the Filipino side, just because you know about adobo, I would make you some adobo. Or maybe I would make you some pancit.
Oh, what is that?
It's a kind of noodles.
Okay.
Rice noodles. It's just like traditional staple. Or I would make you some lumpia.
Oh, that sounds good. What is that?
Lumpia is spring rolls.
Oh, stop it now.
Yeah.
Stop it now. Why are you speaking my language so loud and clear?
Because you're making such wonderful things for
my
me, so I would
God.
share with you.
My gosh, you've got my taste buds going. Was it always such a nice thing to embrace, like being as you are, mixed of 2 different cultures? How was that experience for you?
Well, that's controversial. It's a controversial question, Aaron. It was really hard, actually, because I always felt like an ugly duckling.
Oh no, why?
Because I didn't belong, Aaron. I didn't belong. I didn't belong. I felt like I didn't belong in Philippines because I was too dark.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of colorism there from like the Spanish
Yes.
colonial influences.
Yes.
And when I was here, everyone would ask me where I was from, and I felt like I was from London. And when I was in Guyana, and because my mum looks like an indigenous, which is like the native
Yes.
people, they would call her buckwoman, and I felt
wow.
really offended.
What did that mean?
I think, you know, divide and conquer. So rather than get everyone united, there was just a way to make people feel like, you know, you're different from the other, or we've got a hierarchy. Some people are better than you. But I've never felt like I've belonged anywhere.
Oh.
And it's only now that I feel I'm so proud to be different.
So what would you say to other young people who are also of different heritage, you know, maybe their mum and dad are from 2 different places, and they're kind of going through that same struggle of understanding themselves? What advice would you give to them?
It is a blessing to be different. But you don't realize it when you're younger because you want to be the same as everyone else. But I've learned, because it's not anyone's fault, but I didn't like my skin color. I felt like people would come and be like, is your mum Chinese? You know? And I just felt like I didn't belong anywhere, and I was just this floating thing. But instead what's happened is I appreciate all different cultures. I love mixes now, and I think that fusion brings beauty to the world. Aaron, do you mind if I try?
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
Okay.
So basically all you're doing is just waiting for them to be, you know, golden brown as those ones are on that side.
Uh-huh.
And then you can take them out when they are.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Aaron, what advice would you give to young black men in London right now, with the climate being the way that it is? I mean, what treasure would you pass on to our young kings?
I think the first thing that I would say to them is don't believe in stereotypes.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well, when I say don't believe in stereotypes, I think, you know, there's something called a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Ooh. Yeah? Okay.
If someone tells you something about yourself enough, enough times, you start to believe it. So first thing I would say is do not believe in stereotypes. Don't feel like you need to live up to some sort of stereotype. Be yourself. And it might not be right now because, we're all on a journey. But at some point, you're going to start to realize who you are and what you're good at, where your life's going towards. Don't be afraid to go towards that.
I'm trying my best, okay?
Yeah, I think they can come out now.
Yeah, all right. All of them?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
But you know what it is? I think a lot of times in life, especially being a young black man, maybe living in an inner city area, like how I was, you tend to fit in with the status quo of where you are. So when I say the status quo, you tend to fit in with what everybody else is doing or has done. And then that can sometimes stagnate or stop you from actually achieving your full potential, which is why I always say, don't believe in stereotypes. And also, don't feel like you have to follow the crowd. Find your own way. Much easier said than done. I'll be honest, it's much easier said than done. But I think once you realize you have a passion, or you start to realize you have a gift, a talent, a skill, when you start to pursue it, it becomes easier.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. So these are not exactly as how I would have wanted them, but they are looking all right, okay? How I would have really wanted them to have been is more rounded, yeah? But these are our Bajan fish cakes.
I love that they're different, though.
Yeah. If you want to take a taste, take a taste. I don't know how you feel about fish, or salt fish, or salted cod.
I know how I feel about eating food from your kitchen.
Taste one. All right, let's take. All right, you got one already. Is it nice? Yeah.
It is an explosion of joy.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Ooh, be sure not to burn yourself.
Oh, Lord of mercy. Okay.
Oh,
Slowly.
oh dear. Do you know I'm gonna have to take this whole thing out?
Yes.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Oh. It's bubbling. Bubbly. Okay.
And this is the Bajan macaroni pie. Yeah, it's bubbling, it actually really is. But as you can see, nicely layered with the top cheese layer. And inside there, you've got all the lovely onions, black pepper, beautiful pasta, and the special secret ingredients. We won't speak about that again, in case anybody's listening, all right?
Wow.
But Bajan macaroni pie, Bajan saltfish cakes, or just Bajan fish cakes. Voila.
What a blessing for our food from the diaspora. Thank
That's
you
right.
so much for blessing the kitchen with
You're
this
welcome.
joy.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to eat it.
And thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. And try it at home yourself. It's very easy. See you later.
This episode was produced by Humblebee Creative with the support of Necessity, the National Lottery Community Fund, and Rich Mix London.